Hi, I'm Blake. I'm 27 years old. I was born British, raised Canadian. That's where the accent's from. I am applying for 2021 entry to both the 1 and 3 year acting courses. My contemporary monologue I'll be doing today is as Neil from Richard Zajdlic's Dogs Barking, and my classical monologue will be from Farewell from John Crowne's Sir Courtly Nice. What would you want? A totally selfish fucking wish. What do you want for you? I used to have this game with Alex. If you spotted an eyelash on their cheek, side of their nose, you'd gather it up and then hold it out for them to blow. Get a wish. Right. We played it here that first night. She saw one on me, held it up, and I looked at her and I thought, I wish this was enough. She used to say, I love you in this way that would just make me cringe. I love you, Neil, in this whiny, self-pitying tone that just meant don't leave me. As if she knew in her heart that I wanted to go. And if she piled on enough emotional guilt, then maybe I wouldn't. And when I finally did, I thought, at least now I'll be free. At least now I won't have to hear that bleating tone again. But of course I did hear it again. Only it wasn't her saying it. It was me. I love you, Caroline. Don't leave me. I'd always had this arrogant sensibility that I deserved better. Even leaving Alex was some kind of public declaration that I wasn't going to settle for second rate. And here was Caroline making the same fucking declaration about me. It made me think that all those times Alex said I love you, maybe that's exactly what she meant. You'd better go. Oh, fire and water are not so contrary. Sir Courtly is so civil a creature, so respectful to everything belongs to a gentleman, he stands bare to his own periwig. Surly uncovers to nothing but his own nightcap, nor to that if he be drunk, for he sleeps in his hat. Sir Courtly is so gentle a creature, he writes a challenge in the style of a billet-doux. Surly talks to his mistress as he would to a Hector that wins his money. Sir Courtly is so pleased with his own person, his daily contemplation, nay, his salvation is a looking-glass. For there he finds eternal happiness. Surly's heaven, at least his priest is his cleric class. For to that he confesses all of his sins, and he takes from it absolution and comfort. His damnation is the looking-glass, for in it he finds an eternal fire in his nose. In short, if you were to make a posset for the devil, mingle these two. For there was never so sweet a thing as Sir Courtly, and so sour as Surly. You've asked for a moment from a play or film that really impacted me, and I thought a lot about this. And there are so many movies that I love, but the one that I think I want to share with you may be a little bit unusual. It's from a film that punches way above its weight class, and that movie is Paddington 2. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but if you haven't, there's this moment right near the end of the film where Paddington is surprised by a visit from his aunt, who he hasn't seen in a long, long time. And there's this moment where there's a knock on the door, and you see Paddington's face, and then you see it dawn on him who it is that's standing behind that big blue door. And when I was a kid, I grew up on a different continent from my dad. And so there were times when he would come and visit, and those were always the highlights of the year, right? And there were a couple times where I would get home from school and my mom would say something like, why don't you go get a snack from the kitchen? And it was just in a bit of a different way. And in the back of my head, I thought, holy crap, is my dad here right now? And one or two of those times, that's exactly what happened. And when I see that part of the film, it brings me right back to being 5 years old and seeing my dad for the first time in what felt like a century, and just getting a big old hug from him and feeling like the next however many days was going to be the best few days of my life. Bit unusual, but hey, it impacted me. Thank you.